So you're an expat and you want to move to the Philippines, but you got no idea how to make a living? Let's talk about that now.
Subscribe now.
One of the challenges that every single expat that wants to move to the Philippines has to consider is how are they going to keep paying for the bills? Some people make the mistake of coming over here with just a little bit of cash and they think that they'll figure it out once it gets over here, but it really takes a lot more planning than that. So in this video, I want to talk about 5 different ways that you can pay the bills while living here in the Philippines. So the first way is if you already have a retirement, some type of supplemental income that you know that the government is going to send you from month to month. In the Philippines, there's an awful lot of expats that move over here with this plan. For whatever reason, many people come over here when they're ready to retire. Perhaps they have an amount of income that they don't know how they would survive on in a country of their own. And so they decide to live in the Philippines because that they know that the cost of living is going to be a lot lower and their money will go a lot further than it would in their home country. So if that is you, a big congrats. Life is easy for you and you don't have to worry about too much more of what I'm going to say here unless you want to supplement your income and make a bit more while you're here. Second way to make income over here in the Philippines is if you have something that is a more permanent source of recurring income, not from the government, but perhaps from an investment. Now, if this is the case, for example, if you're relying on the stock market or something that is a bit more volatile, this isn't the best plan here in the Philippines because plan B might take a bit longer to figure out. But if it's something like a rental of a home or a condo, something along those lines that you really know you're gonna be fine, that's a great option while you're here as well. It's very stable. You could be making income in your home country, and that could support you while you're here in the Philippines. Third great option is if you have an existing business in your home country and you have a manager, trusted employee, family member that you know will really take care of the business and you have an almost 100% chance of relying on them. I know a number of people that have people that are part of their company that are really running the company even while they're there, and that's a great option as well. You could start things while you're still in your home country and know that everything's running smoothly, and perhaps only go home from time to time just to check in on things, talk to customers or clients, whatever it may be, and continue to use that income while you're here in the Philippines. So a fourth reason is to get a job in the Philippines. So I'm on a number of expat Facebook groups, and if I said something like that you could just come to the Philippines as a foreigner and get a job over here, that is the kind of thing that would get about 150 rude comments of people saying that that is a ridiculous thing to even consider, that if you're a foreigner, you're just going to be making about $10 a day, and so on and so on. The reality is, the Philippines is a tough place to get a job. But here's the thing, that's just not here in the Philippines. People that come from other countries move to places like the US or wherever it may be, and it's also very hard for them to get a job in the US, as an example. Perhaps they don't speak the other language, or perhaps they had degrees or licenses or credentials that worked in their home country but don't work in the US. But these immigrants come to the US and other countries, and even though it feels like such a struggle, what am I gonna do? I can't speak the language, or I have to start over from scratch getting credentials and I can't afford it. These immigrants do the hard work of making it happen in the US and make their dreams come true. Now, when it comes to the Philippines, it's also hard, and I think that a lot of the foreign responses here to just give up trying to find a job here just shows how much work it is for immigrants anywhere in the world to be able to move to another country and to be able to survive. And for sure, for people that move here from other countries, it's also difficult to figure out how to make it happen. Now, that's not necessarily going to be because of language problems, but it's really going to be that Filipino companies and the country is really going to be focused on, first and foremost, making sure that Filipino citizens have jobs here, as should absolutely be the case. So if you're a foreigner looking for a job here, you really need to look for a type of job that is something that you can uniquely fill, that perhaps a lot of locals might not do a great job at. So perhaps you might find a call center, for example. There's so many call centers here in the Philippines that are doing customer support, technical support, billing support, sales for other countries around the world. Sometimes foreigners are able to get jobs in those type of positions because they are able to provide expertise of the culture, of the languages, of processes, and other things that locals here might not have as much experience in. And of course, there's so many other opportunities here as well. You just have to do the hard work of rolling up your sleeves, taking your resume, and trying to talk to other companies out there about what positions are open if you're a foreigner. Not saying it's easy, but with some hard work, it's definitely possible. Fifth thing that I would say is that if you want to find a way to provide an income here in the Philippines, you can look at starting a business in the Philippines. So this is the option that I personally chose myself. I still have income from Purple Cow in California, but I also incorporated a second business here, Purple Cow in the Philippines. Now we have a restaurant and some other business ventures that I'm starting, and so having a business or businesses is my option that I've chosen of how to pay the bills here in the Philippines. This is also not an easy route. I was just talking with a good buddy of mine, Bob, today from the US, who started a couple of businesses in Dumaguete recently, and we were talking about just the hurdles, the challenges to running a business here in the Philippines. And no doubt, if you decide to move over here, you'll experience some of those hurdles as well. This is the thing though, no matter where you live, there's gonna be hurdles to having a business. And so wherever you are, whether in your home country or in the Philippines, starting your own business is gonna take some patience, some learning from mistakes, a bit of extra cash flow for when things may go wrong, and so on. But for me, finding a good business opportunity here in the Philippines is definitely a great way to give back by creating jobs here in the Philippines, and also to be able to grow your income over time. So these are my top 5 ideas for how to make money if you are a foreigner seeking to live here in the Philippines. If you have other ideas, make sure and let me know in the comments below. And if you have any comments about what I've said, make sure and drop a comment or reach out to me by email or Facebook. I always love hearing from people that are watching. If you haven't subscribed already, what in the world are you waiting for? Help a brother out. And as always, guys, thank you for taking the time to watch, and see you later.